Yo, what's going on, everyone? How are you doing?
Chilling.
Um, yeah, fine. If you haven't already, my mic is all the way over here. If you haven't already, um, join us on Blue Sky. We have a Blue Sky account now because Twitter sucks and it is a hellhole. And first and foremost, if you are still feeling blue about the results on Tuesday, trust me, you're not the only one. But as we three have learned and come to know in this world as people of color of the beautiful black diaspora, uh, you could be twice as good and still only get half. So, yeah, we've been here before. It sucks that we're here again, but it would be very un-American if we didn't repeat the ninth grade for the third time. So that's a
I
little
know
Department of Education joke for you there, folks.
I know it was meant to be serious, but
Yeah. I'm just saying. So let's get to the real intro. Yo, with that being said, hope everyone out there is having a wonderful night. It is Thursday night. We have a lot to talk about. We got playoff games to talk about. Some good games across there, and then we also, on the flip side, have some more games to look at on the other side. Will Cal be enjoying a title? Who knows? We'll debate about it. We'll talk about it. Last little joke about the race that happened on Tuesday. I just want to say, out of everyone on this show that has hosted, my state's the only one that's blue, and I feel like I am the true winner here.
wow.
So y'all got to get y'all freedom papers. Just know you can come to Virginia.
I'll
I
stick
hate
with
you.
being in one of the two blue spots of the state. All right, I'm in the bluest spot of Wisconsin. I
Where
will.
you sound like Atlanta right now. Oh, we're blue. We're fine.
I'm trying. Okay, I gotta cling on to something because right now I was looking
Oh
up
my
flights
god.
to Vancouver and just being like, what if I just stay here? I was also looking up how do I
Don't
get
do that.
citizenship
Don't
to Antigua.
Canada's not better. Canada's no better. Don't do that.
At least there's
Don't.
healthcare.
It is.
There's healthcare.
You can't argue that. You
There's
can't argue that.
healthcare.
Healthcare. You got a
You know
point.
what? What's the first game? I'm not arguing with you.
I'm just saying, Antigua also, I looked up citizenship for Antigua. I can do it. I just gotta figure out how to actually do it.
Wow. What's the first game? I'm done with
All right.
you. Done with
So
you.
let's start off with first of all, I've hated this playoff format. Not the 8 teams itself, just I wish every game was on the same day. It just
Yes,
makes things easier.
please.
Just makes things a lot
I
easier.
agree.
But let's start off with Greenville versus One Knox 2-1. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I am very shocked. I thought One Knox was gonna pull it off, but the old veteran himself, Tyler Pollock, decided to pull one off, getting an assist in this game. Evan Lee as well scoring a goal, and of course the Golden Boot winner for 2024, Liam McKinnon scoring a goal as well. Greenville gets a much deserved home win coming off the news that they're getting a new stadium, so they're looking to close this chapter out. But what did Greenville do to pull this one over the eyes of One Knox? Because it seemed like they caught him off guard early and worked.
I
Can
mean,
you really say it was like off guard? Looking at the stats, they were pretty even. Knoxville was definitely like knocking on the door. 15 shots to 7, 5 on target versus 3. Greenville was more productive because 3 on target, 2 went in. It's not a bad day.
Yeah.
the shocking part is Knoxville actually tried to score.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Greenville scored early, which kind of put Knoxville in a position where they couldn't just park the bus.
Yeah, this feels like old school Greenville, where they was just like, I'm just imagining them going into the locker room and John Harkes is standing there with like the cloak over his head, was like, "You're the dark arts to win. You have strayed from the light. and here's how you fix it. And then they just opened up the playbook and it's like, oh. It was like, oh, we can go back to this.
They're just like, let's go back to who we actually are. We got to go back to our roots.
We're just having a midlife crisis trying to be all pretty and whatnot. Like, that's not you.
I do have a question because 2 penalties in a game is kind of shocking.
Yeah,
Especially especially for a Greenville game. Not gonna lie. So I'm more concerned with is this team getting to the gritty side of their performances now?
If they are, they're a scary team. If they are,
I was gonna say,
a scary team, yo.
If they are, Omaha needs to be on top of their game. Like, they cannot just assume they're gonna waltz through this.
Yeah. Like, and this is the thing, like, it really is, if Greenwood sticks with the style, which I hope they do, it's pretty much like park the bus and counter versus, oh, we're trying to make this a track meet and sprint up and down the field.
Who's parking the bus?
Greenville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that you mean Omaha.
Yeah, no.
It's like, that's why I was like, huh?
No. But like, speaking more about One Knocks on the South, man, like, I'm pretty sure they are shooting themselves in the foot because you felt like they had an opportunity to do something here and getting to the next round.
This was the best matchup for them.
Yeah.
Because maybe Ford would have been a better matchup for them as well, but you're looking at a Greenville team, which, yes, they are still a very good scoring team, but it's still you know what Greenville's about. You know, you could have taken them, parked the bus, and take them to a penalty shootout. I feel good about that. They wouldn't have been able to do that against, I feel like maybe they could do that against Madison, but that wasn't sure. You definitely couldn't do that against Noka, although we'll talk about them later on. So this did feel like if there is going to be a time for you to just lock down, not allow yourself to get caught up in a like uphill battle, this would have been it. But then they allow the early goal, so their plan just completely goes out the window.
Yeah, it does. I don't know, man. It's so weird. So weird. Because I could have sworn this game was going to go to PKs. It was going to be 1-1 or like 2-1, not 1 knocks. But Greenville pulls it out. And we'll see how they do against Junior Omaha. So the next game up, Kyle, your boys. First ever playoff, not only home win. Yeah. Yeah, this is your first ever home win, right?
This is the first home playoff game for Madison.
Yeah, y'all have a playoff win from 2019, right?
No, lost to North Texas. Ricardo Pepe scored a brace.
Oh, that's right. It was only
damn.
Okay, it wasn't 2 minutes, but yeah, Ricardo Pepe basically came and scored a brace within like a 5-minute stretch. It was, yeah.
Did that hurt a little bit? Did that just hurt a little bit? Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah. I'm sorry. So first ever playoff win as well.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Kyle, we'll start off with you. 2-0 win over Charlotte Independence. Once again, another pick that I got wrong because I thought it was going to be an upset here. Yeah, how you go, Kyle? How fun was the vibes?
I will be honest. I was watching the game as I was getting ready to go to a concert, so I didn't get the full watch. But long story short, Madison dominated.
Yeah.
It was a start to finish win. The score for the most of the match was flattering Charlotte, to be honest. Like, Madison could have easily had 3 or 4 goals. It was a complete performance that I am not surprised about, but it was just nice to see them go in and just have a no nonsense. All right, we're going to go in and simply impose our will on Charlotte. And Charlotte definitely was, it didn't feel like they're playing at their best. It still felt very disjointed. It felt like the Charlotte that we've seen for the last couple of months, where it's just kind of hoping that Aubergeon or Alvarez does something and everyone else, and like hope for it all to work. Their passing was kind of wayward. It just didn't feel like Charlotte had a plan. Like, Madison was on the front foot. And it was nice. It was again nice to see, especially when it was a home playoff match. You want to get that, and now you're going in and feeling all the confidence because you played your best match recently, and now you get to host a semifinal. So I think, honestly, like I said, the score was flattering Charlotte, and I that was the best. I think that was one of the best performances I've seen from Madison ever.
It was also very suspect of Independence because I said that they were that sneaky good team at the beginning, and then they were that sneaky bad team at the end. I was like, they're not gonna do much. And look at this. It was just not a good game. If you're a Forward fan, it was a really great game.
It was great.
I don't really think you really did anything wrong. So, and they did everything wrong. It was
Charlotte didn't have a shot on target.
Yeah. That's the scary part. It was just for a team in the playoffs, you thought they would at least put up a little bit more of a fight, and it just didn't. It didn't show on the field, at least.
So let me ask this question: Is it time to pull the plug on the Charlotte generation?
I mean, Miguel Ibarra has already announced he is leaving, so that's one player right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's time.
I mean,
you at least got to refresh it.
Yeah.
But who do you bring into that?
Huh? Who do you bring to do that?
Who can you bring in to do that? Are you changing the coach to go along with this changing of the guard? That's an old ass team.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
I don't think you got to change the coach. I don't think you have to change the coach. I think you can start to pull certain parts from it. Like, I hate to say it, maybe Hugh Roberts you pull, maybe Trevor Mbuyu, that Clay Demick. I can see his face. Obiton, like at least 4 or 5 guys you can start to pull, and we can make this team younger. Like the thing is, the team just looks slow. Like technically, they're great. Like they're one of the better teams. They just look slow.
Well, I was gonna say, like, what young players do you really have? I mean, you have Alvarez, you have him, you have Cease, I guess, because he's only like what 22, 23.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's another center back. I can't remember his name right now.
Like Spielman's not too old. Like he's 28, so like he's not like old. Auberjohn's 26, so I mean, it just feels as though like the midfield in particular needs to be refreshed, because I feel like that's where they are kind of struggling. Kind of felt like that midfield, like Cease and Alvarez, yes, but then it kind of felt like nothing else around them had the speed, or like Ford is just swarming them with their midfielders.
Yeah, because I mean, they got everything you want. You got a good striker, you got 2 good midfielders, you got a solid back line, a great goalkeeper, 2 out wingers. Maybe it is just maybe it's just you just need better fullbacks.
Or
like when I look at that team, 11, maybe you just need better fullbacks. And possibly just be quicker. Like, just speed up the style of play. Because I'm pretty sure they were slow walking and being a little bit more cautious in the attack because you had older players. But if those guys move on, you bring in younger guys, I'm pretty sure you can increase that tempo a lot more.
Yeah.
That's just my thought.
I'm more concerned that you're going to say bring in, like, get quicker, but they're going to say our quick is not as quick as they think it is. And so then they're just going to continue to be stagnant in the 7-8 position.
Yeah.
And maybe that just might be where they have to be. Like, that just might be the reality, unless they can get one more like high profile striker or one more like good defender. Because the one thing with Charlotte, it was like before Charlotte just would not defend and they would just score goals left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, yeah, you're still scoring goals, but it's not. I mean, they just didn't. It didn't look like a team that had a full plan. I think this is one of those where they made the playoffs because 8 teams make the playoffs. So of course everyone was going to get in. And they were just on that level of the teams below them were worse, but no one could confidently say the teams above them, like all the teams above them, were better than them. Even Knoxville had something. And we're also looking at if the penalties go different, they get knocked out in the semifinal by Omaha. If penalties go slightly different.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. It feels like a team at a crossroads.
Is this going to be the year of like massive change within a lot of these teams that are losing in the first round? Which we'll talk. I mean, obviously we have a couple more teams to talk about.
Save that for after we get to these games. That I like that. That's a good question though. So
yeah.
Let's get to these games because I think so. But
let's go to the shocker.
Boy,
ooh.
You talking about a game? I'm glad USL Leeway doesn't do parlays yet because I would have been broke. That parlay would have been horrible, dog. Yo, I picked the loser in every game.
Remember, we all were like, NoCo is the team that could be the team to beat. And Spokane said bet.
Dog, you talk about the span of 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes like that.
It was a snooze fest, and then it wasn't.
And then all of a sudden, Spokane got one. It's like, oh, okay, cool, they got one. But you expected NoCo to, equalize, level it out. And then Spokane got a second. I was like, oh, all right. And then 2 minutes later, it's like, actually, we'll just go get a third. It's like, what the hell just happened?
Yo, first of all, let me start with this. Do you think NoCo pressed it too much? Like, do you think all the outside noise finally got to them and they just pressed? Because that's what it feels like. Like, it feels like NoCo was playing on the edge for so long and they just finally got to them.
I mean, it feels like one of those where 9 times out of it's like a college basketball like March Madness upset, like a 5-12.
Yeah.
The higher seed is playing its best and just hit a 1 out of 10 moment that the other team was just like, it felt like one of those where 9 out of 10 times NoCo wins this game. But that one time is what happened. And it was, I don't think the outside noise got to them because it's not like it was like Spokane was coming in playing really, really well either. Like Spokane was stumbling into the playoffs.
We've got to give Spokane some credit because they
100%.
They literally everything is even. So anything that NoCo did, Spokane did too. Same amount of shots, same amount of targets, same amount of big chances. Actually, Spokane had more big chances. They took more risks, which worked in their favor, especially on that NoCo field. Like, I'm shocked that home field advantage didn't work out in their favor. Spokane went at them.
I mean, how much of a home field advantage is really there?
True.
I mean,
but NoCo gave up in the second half. NoCo did nothing in the second half. All of their stuff came in the first, and all Spokane had to do was just ride it out. After that, looking at the first half or the second half,
Spokane almost had a goal first half as well, but it went off the post, which is ironic because then NoCo came back, and it was one of those like Spokane had a shot, it went off the post, and then NoCo like immediately like counter.
It was just back and forth, but it finally worked for Spokane.
Yeah,
that's insane. They went fucking ham, and it's really fun to see some of these smaller teams just like dominate.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
the thing as well is the manner in which they scored the goals. Like the first one was like a scramble. Like the ball got in, it bounced, they ping-ponged around, and it just ended up going to a Spokane player. Again, sure, whatever. That will happen. It's kind of that's kind of like one of those. The second goal is where I think Ebony makes sense. Is like Spokane just got it and was like, all right, we'll just go from here, pass it here, cross it in, goal.
Yeah.
That was how that one felt. And the third one was more of again, like, I don't know what Noko was trying to do, but then Spokane got it and said, all right, we're just all going to run down the field. We're going to cross the ball in, and it's going to work.
That's basically all you need.
Yeah. Like,
But yeah, no, shout out Spokane, because they came in the second half and they had a plan of, we're just going to go Route 1 and try and stop us.
Like, I can't say anything, man. Spokane shocked the hell out of me. They shocked everyone. Like, really.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, honestly, yes.
I left the concert and I looked at my phone and I saw 3-0. I was like, oh, okay, Noko won 3-0. And I saw Spokane at 3. I was like, what the fuck?
Dog, I can't say anything. Like, I didn't see this coming. And so now, what does this mean for Noko? Because, once again, everything now that has came out, everything that we've seen has happened, you have to imagine Iman is probably walking away. They're probably losing Bruno to the championship. Horad is probably leaving. Delgado, Breck Evans, like
Martinez.
How much of this Noko squad is going to be gutted?
I mean, a lot, because now Lexington is going to need some players to come up, although they're spending hella money right now just on.
Maybe Lexington might look and be like, maybe we shouldn't spend a bunch of money. Let's back up first, because the last time we spent a lot of money, we nearly got a wooden spoon.
No,
I mean, Oakland could use them. I'm just looking at the championship because that's exactly where they're going.
Or it's either they're going to championship or like a Madison or Omaha or even like Greenville is going to be like, yeah, we will throw the money if we need to. Or one of the newer expansion teams could throw the money and say, F it, we're going to throw the money and join us.
Yeah.
We'll build around you.
Yeah.
I don't see them
goes from
staying.
here. Even if they survive, I don't know what happens, just because there's a lot of uncertainty.
I'm assuming this team got to get gutted. Like, there's no way. There's no way this team sticks around for another year.
As it stands, no. For one, the talent is way too good, and I know what Noko wants to keep these players. It's going to be very hard to do so.
I'm not even saying with the talent, like just given everything that had happened, the missed checks, the stirring around the stadium. Like, guys at this level take stability over everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I hate to say it, but like they will go to Lexington, even though Lexington is bad, but it's stable. Like, them checks clearing, that's all I care about.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. That's why I could see Omaha, Madison, Greenville. Like, I can see them saying, we will give you the money, and there's also stability here.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, really.
Like I said, Spokane might also look at it and be like, stability.
One Knox.
Are we calling One Knox stable?
For real? Chattanooga's another team.
Again.
Chattanooga's another team.
The check's clear.
If that's the standard, then
for some of those players, yes. After the year they just went through, yeah.
I get a guaranteed contract, play stable football. and a roof over my head. Yeah, give me that.
Like the only teams I don't see is Richmond, not because they're not stable, just because financially it's money.
Yeah.
Tormento probably not.
Yeah.
Fuego probably not. Like those are the only three teams where you're just
Fuego's the only one that's in there that can go either way. Richmond and Tormento for sure not.
Just don't have the money for it.
Yeah. So a lot of these guys will either be on either League One teams or in the championship. It's gonna happen because it's stable.
If you're Knoxville, how much do you throw at Zaid?
Oh, it's not.
Because remember, they don't have a coach.
It's got to be on par with Lexington's going to throw.
Yeah.
It's got to be on par with what Lexington's going to throw. Because if Lexington ain't throwing a good bag at him.
Because I was going to say, what other League One teams like?
Yo.
Charlotte, maybe.
Giving One Knox with that defense? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And imagine if we can convince, what's his name, the striker, to go to One Knox.
I'm just saying, like, if I was Knoxville, I'm looking at that. If I'm Portland, if I'm Santa Barbara.
Oh. Santa Barbara playing soccer in 2025?
Hey, that's above us.
I don't know. I haven't heard no. So until they say nah, I'm just going to go with they'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm putting Santa Barbara in the same boat as Wilmington Hammerhead, the Wilmington team that's been rumored for a couple years.
Oh, that's harsh. At least Santa Barbara said, like, yeah, we got the
I
team.
mean, they have a great logo, they have cool colors, and they have a very strong plan of where they want to play and how they want to play and with who, somewhat. But I ain't seen. Damn. Oh shit. That went right over his head. Oh damn.
It did.
It did. It sure did.
Oh man. All right. So the last playoff game that we need to talk about. Union Omaha, Richmond Kickers 1-0. I'm declaring this game the double doink. Because
yeah, that had to hurt. That had to hurt. Because not only did you double doink, they immediately went like right down the field.
Oh, it was like doink goal. I was like, what the fuck?
Bro, it's like seeing a double dunk field goal that gets returned for 110 yard return. He's just like, that's how we lose the game. Like that's literally how we lost the game.
Yeah, because at that point, neither team was playing bad, but you were playing very cautious, which is wild for a 1 seed to do versus an 8 seed. Well, and you had a lot of chances. And
bro, the one chance that I'll forget, and this is crazy because our last 3 playoff appearances, all under Darren, have come down to a missed goal in the first half. Johnny Bolaños against FC Tucson. We missed the goal there in the first half. FC Tucson scores off of a throw-in. Fast forward to 2022. We're the 1 seed. We have not an open goal, but we have a missed chance in the first half that was guaranteed a goal. Chattanooga goes down to man. Rafa Mixon scores a banger. 1-0. Are you catching the trend here? It's not. Ryan Sarakowski has an open goal. Literally, Nuhu is doing Pilates.
Yeah.
Like, he is doing Pilates.
That was before the double doink.
Missed it. He was more wide than he was inside.
Nuhu was a spectator. He was got a front row.
And he gets up like, come on. And I'm like, bro,
this is not you.
Like,
did you?
I'm just like,
I mean, you got the save.
You saved the first shot, But then you almost parried it into your own net. It was like a volleyball set into the post crossbar.
Dog. And then the double doink. And then Simon Fitch, who won our respectively got in the USL second team and was their Red Army MVP. Miss hits the ball to get it back into the box, which leads to the fast break. And it's just like, this is how we're going out. Mind you, and James Snedden, an 18-year-old in the first half, made a double save. Oh.
Again, this felt like one of those, like how Spokane had the breaks that went their way. This was the opposite for Richmond. Richmond did not get the break that to go their way.
And I was just like, yo, what the fuck, man? But the thing about it is, like,
You gotta finish your chances.
yeah. And it's also the story of our season. Like, we were one of the worst transition defensive teams. And it just so happens to be we got knocked out on a transition goal. It's kind of like it's pure comedy, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what has happened.
I will say this: Omaha needs to play a lot better next.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They can't play the way they just did and expect to win.
Yeah, they got to play a lot better. And the thing about it is, it's not like if you take away that one moment there, like the rest of that game changes. Because like I talked about the week before, where it's like, the pressure is going to be on them.
Yeah.
And the longer that game went 0-0, you don't tell me your Omaha fans get a little bit tighter. They were tight. You can't, like,
especially with flashbacks to last year.
Yeah, like it's there. It's there. So it's just like, yo. I mean, cats out to him, man. And also shout out to for what they did for number 2. His name is escaping me right now. But the player who got injured.
Yeah.
In
I know the house explosion.
Hope he's doing better, man. Hope he's recovering well. They had a nice tribute for him, but yeah, man.
The GoFundMe page is still alive for anyone that wants to donate to that.
Please do. And be safe when using gas. It's not nothing funny. But yeah, man, like, what can I say? What can I say?
Honestly, you were playing with house money, so and y'all took it to him. Honestly,
yeah, I can't be mad about that. Like, we took it to him. We tried.
Well, that's why everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Omaha's gonna steamroll." I was like, I don't think so, because I don't think we remember Richmond played Omaha tough to a draw the last time these two teams faced off, and that was like a month ago.
Yeah, and nearly the same game plan worked.
Yep.
It was the same as that game plan. It's just if one of those chances doesn't get doinked, we're talking about a completely different game. Because I guarantee you Darren is going to park the bus at the 75th minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's parking the bus.
But, yeah. I was going to say, Omaha have quietly not played their best the last month, if we really think about it.
No, but they played well when it mattered.
Right. They got the moment that they needed to. But if I'm Greenville, I feel confident.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't be. I'm pretty sure you will feel confident about that. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. So that leaves us now with a playoff format of this. So on November 9th, both games are being played. 5 p.m. we got Union Omaha versus Greenville, and then at 7 we got Fort Madison versus Spokane. Guys, I'm gonna say this because I want absolute chaos, and my team that is. I don't really give a fuck. I want Madison versus Union Omaha.
Mm.
Give me Blood and Thunder.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say Spokane Greenville for chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be chaos.
I mean, either one of those matchups would be amazing.
Spokane can't win the title in their first year in the league. Like, we can't have the.
I mean, that would be something if they did.
That would be amazing.
I would be pissed, but also respect it at the same time.
Oh, man.
I mean, historically, as in 2 games, Spokane hasn't beaten Madison yet.
3. Don't forget the Eagle Cup.
Yeah.
All right. They haven't won against them yet. But here we are. And Spokane just did the thing where nobody was prepared for. So
this is going to be fun.
And as an agent of chaos myself,
say it.
I don't know.
Say it.
Both are chaotic.
Say
it. They both are chaotic. I also want to see a Madison versus Omaha final for whatever meltdown happens. I would keep Twitter open just because not everybody is over there
Twitter
yet.
open just for that, just to scroll to see who has the bigger meltdown.
I want to be selfish, so I want Madison Greenville because I want a whole final.
That would also be
what
fun.
I want. I don't think that's going to happen, but that is what I want.
I think the more intriguing game between the 2 semifinals is definitely Union Omaha Greenville.
Yeah,
I think it's a perfect matchup. It is a perfect matchup. Madison, I favor a little bit more against Spokane. But I don't know how Spokane is going to play this game because I don't see them being defensive, given they just scored 3 against NoCo. But I don't know how they're going to attack and get past Madison.
Kyle has ghosts in his house.
He does.
I also favor Madison only because they have a lot. I think they have. I don't want to say more to prove, but they're fighting for something a little bit more. Spokane right now, they're in the playoffs. They won their first playoff match. It's their first year. They could end it tomorrow and be like, we set our goals and we exceeded them. I truly think that Madison has to win this game. They have to.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I am not going to sleep on Spokane. I think Madison will win and should win, but I don't think it's a walk in the. I feel like it's going to be a nervy. It's going to take a while. It's going to kind of feel like that Omaha Richmond kind of thing where it's like, okay, how long before that goal? Because I mean, Spokane's going to go in thinking we just went into Northern Colorado and beat them. We can go in and beat. So I think.
I think Madison wins. Game going to overtime.
I don't know I don't know about that. I feel like it's going to be like a 2-1.
I have more confidence in this game going overtime than Union and Greenville.
Really? I think this is a 2-1. Like Madison maybe gets to a 2-0 lead. Spokane gets one back in like the 60th or 70th, and then it's just like nervy.
Maybe.
Greenville Omaha is either going to be like a blowout one way or the other, or that's going to penalties. And I don't think.
No, yeah, that game is definitely going to penalties. They're going to do nothing for 90 minutes. They're going to score goals in extra time, and then it's going to go to PKs. Also, this brownie is fantastic. I just want everybody to know that.
Well, good.
Getting high on the show? I love it for you.
No, it's just a regular brownie.
Oh. All right. So
Also good on Hummel. 3 of the 4 teams in the semifinal are Hummel teams. So
hey, maybe that can rub off for us next year. There's hope.
Are we sponsored by Hummel? What's happening here?
I'm just saying, out of the 4 semifinal teams, 3 of them have Hummel.
Yeah.
Granted, it took Greenville and Omaha a while to get there, but
All right.
So now I can go back to my original question. The teams that made the playoffs, is this the start of a new overhaul for them?
You say about the teams that made the playoffs?
Made the playoffs. Because like we said, Charlotte made the playoffs, but it's clear they need a new direction. Richmond made the playoffs, but they kind of know where their direction is going based on how their season ended. But is there something still? But there still is clear that there's an overhaul that needs to happen.
So let's start with One Knox, because I think there's not much of an overhaul there, like roster wise. They get their new stadium next year, right?
they play in the other stadium, next season.
So I'm thinking the only true overhaul is finding a manager
and someone that can score goals.
Yeah, that's it. And if you're One Knox, I'm having that conversation with Iman tonight or tomorrow.
If you haven't already.
Yeah, for real. Like, I'm having that conversation. And I'm also talking to Bruno Rendon and being like, how do you feel about playing striker? Like, I'm just saying, it doesn't hurt to have that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, for Knoxville, it's more get a coach, get some high quality attackers, hold on to that defense, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, honestly.
We kind of touched on Charlotte. So what about?
Yeah,
we can dig deep a little bit into Charlotte. What about Richmond?
So Richmond's weird because they don't know what they want to be. Like, because remember, they started this whole year off with this whole, well, we want to possess the ball, we want to use the ball to, so our opponents, and we've seen that for the better part of a year, and we saw the results of that. And the squad's been built around that. But then with this team getting younger and this team not worrying so much about possession, but more so defensive stability, they gotten better. And you look at how they shaked out the last 2 weeks. Granted, both results, Richmond were right, and it's not like they got blown away. But you can see with 1 or 2 injuries, 1 or 2 red cards, this team isn't built for defensive stability. So now it goes to the part, you already got your manager. He's done. Like, Darren's there for another 2 years. You got an academy system pumping in. But now look at the main makeup of this roster. You have a lot of guys coming off in those 2-year contracts. You also have a lot of guys that don't necessarily fit what you needed to be. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to be that guy. It's time to clean the decks. Like, it's time to scrub. It's time to start writing them thank you notes on Instagram. Like, you're going to have some tough conversations. Nathan Ani, is he going to be around? With Chella being there in the center back and Griffin Garnett growing? Is Zach Moran or James Vaughn going to be here? Because, you talk about defensive stability, but look how this team did well under Dak, who's a mobile CDM, versus 2 destroyers. There's not room for 2 destroyers in this team. So, like Joe Gallardo. I mean, Joe Gamero. Yeah, he tore his ACL, but do you keep him around for another year? Neil Vigneault. You started bringing him off the bench, and you played better because you were defensively solid for 60 minutes. but he's still one of your best creators and USL league team overall. This is gonna make me sick. Emiliano Inzaghi? Like, is it time? Is it time?
I was like, is that name gonna? Is he gonna say the name? Is he gonna say the name?
I feel like you can keep him around as like the veteran leader and everything, but in terms of relying on him, I don't think so.
Yeah, like.
But you already did that. You did that with Akira.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, is it time for us to be like, all right, look, the Emmy years were great. He went on a magical 3-year run that I think we'll never see ever again in this league. With that being said, is it time to be like, hey, look, unless he's cool being like, part of that starting 18, maybe a rotational player, he'll start maybe the cup matches, and a couple of league games here in between, but we need a reliable goal finisher. It's time to have that conversation.
Yeah.
It's time to have that conversation. Richmond got to rebuild the wings. They haven't had outside of Bill Hart, they haven't had another capable winger of producing what Bolaños gave you. You haven't had a capable ball carrier since Ethan Bryant did what he could do for you. It's time. It's time. So, yeah, I think Richmond and Charlotte are like – they're the two teams in the middle who you could be like, all right, there's things you need to work on. But because both of the managers are solid, you just really rebuilding the roster. Whereas One Knox, you got the roster. You just need to find the right guy that can push you to the next level. They can get you the home playoff game, can get you contender for titles. And then you got NOCO, who are just in no man's land. Really no roster, no manager. It's a tough sell. It's a tough sell for anyone to come in there. There's so much instability. I don't know where I'm playing next year. I don't know if checks are clearing because we know these players talk. They're not dumb about that. So, like, if they're saying like, "Yo, such and such don't pay, the checks don't come on time," you think guys or top level guys are going to be wanting to go there? No. And are NOCO prepared to go into a youth revolution? I would say no, because they haven't shown any proof of wanting to do that because they've been so built on getting these high caliber guys that compete at the top level. It's kind of like, remember the conversation we had last year about like, I think it was Fuego and Lexington. Like, which one would you rather take and rebuild? And I think we all came to the conclusion like you would rather take like,
like Fuego or Chattanooga or something.
Yeah. I feel like that's the kind of thing like you got to have with NOCO. Like, all right, what do you want to be? Because what you are now is not going to work anymore. They got to have that conversation with themselves. It's going to be not easy.
Do you think NOCO is kind of in a similar thing that like Tormenta had after they had won the title, where you had all those players and you held on to them for one more year, and maybe that wasn't the best option as opposed to cashing in? Like, that's the question. Like, are you going to try and convince these guys to stay and try and win? Because clearly the talent is there. Or do you just say, like, I don't know how many of these players have like the option picked up or anything, but do you just cash in and just go, we gotta get the books. We gotta do it for the books.
I don't know. No, I take back. I do know. You cash in. You need the money. You need the money right now. Like, whatever money you can make from guys, and hopefully, this is what I think they will do, because we know how USL contract is set up, where you got the 1 year and then the 1 year extension. I think what they'll do is go ahead and start triggering guys' extensions, like guys that they know they can sell for a profit, and try to sell those guys. Any guy that they know that's like, all right, he's a League One player at max, I don't think they try to sell. I think they let him walk, or try to be like, hey, you can stay here and be the starter. You get more minutes. But any guy that's worth a profit, you try to sell him.
Yeah.
There's no reason to try to hold on to that. It's better to be mid-table and than try to do this one more year. Guys get hurt, guys lose value, and you're stuck on bad contracts. No point.
I also don't think that the landscape of keeping 1+1 is gonna last. Just throw that out there. I hate that.
Why you don't think it's gonna last?
I feel like there's too. If the growth continues the way it is, players are going to want stability past a year, and I don't think that USL League One can survive if that's all they're offering players.
I think what's going to happen is the more proven commodities will get a 2-year deal. Players that they take a gamble on will get a 1-year deal, and then if they want to bring it back, then you give them like a 2-3 year deal. I feel like the 1+1 is not going to last, like Ebony says. I think it's going to be you get a 1 year, you play well, you go wherever, or you get like a multi-year, like 2-3 year deal. Or like if Devin Boyce decided to go wherever, he's getting a 2 or 3 year deal at this point. Like if Nuhu decided to stay in USL League One and not stay at Omaha, or even at Omaha, he's going to get like a 2-3 year deal. Like I feel like that's what is going to happen. Like the proven commodities are going to get those kind of deals.
I think the 1-1 deals are going to work more for USL League One, just given the fact of, like we talked about earlier, like players want not only stability, but they also want mobility, right? Like because the 1 year you don't have that mobility, right? But like 1+1. All right, I played really well for 1 year. I'm not locked into it because we know at this level, teams are getting massive transfers for teams, right? So it's like, all right, I'm not locked in for 2 years. My value drops now. You don't pick me up for my 3rd year because my value done dropped. I can't really go nowhere else. But if I got 1+1 and my value is really high, all right, cool. And after the 1 year it doesn't work out, well, I could just be like, hey, it's 1 year, I could go somewhere else. That's what I think will happen. But I do agree with you. I think it might be a concept of a 2+1, for those upper echelon guys. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So what? Oh, we gotta talk about
The All League.
Yeah, because that came out today. So, where you guys want to start with this? Any surprises?
I feel like the first team was pretty straightforward. Like I looked at the first team. I was like, nope, all of those make sense. I'm not really gonna sit here and say one way. Like I felt like the first team was pretty spot on. The second team, there was maybe like 2 or 3 players I would be like, yeah, they should be there.
All right. Yeah. I'm sorry. I had to look it up just to see if I was, because
I remember
for
everyone that's not paying attention, for the first team, Sean Lewis is the goalie. The defenders are Mitch Osman, Bruno Rondon, Jordan Skelton. The midfielders were Luis Alvarez, Devin Boyce, Pedro Dolabella, and Luis Gil. And then the attackers was Ethan Horde, Ryan McKinnon, and Juan Carlos Oberjon.
That's not bad.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. I feel like that was like everyone. I feel like most people are like, yeah, okay. The second team, this is where it starts getting a little interesting. Delgado was the keeper. The defenders were Simon Fitch, David Garcia, Nick Spielman. The midfielders were Atis Diouf, Chapa Herrera, Evan Lee, Jimmy Villalobos, and the attack was Pedro Fonseca, Alfredo Medens, and Nil Vigneault. I will say Medens, yeah, should be there. Vigneault should be there.
I'm trying to remember what Diouf did for Lexington all season.
I mean, he was the only one scoring, but his goal
scored 7 goals and provided. I think he had 7 goals and like 4 assists or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one I
No.
can feel bad for is Rapa Mensa from Chattanooga, because I just realized no Chattanooga player got on the list.
Nope.
Yeah. 11 out of the 12 teams, and they couldn't find one Chattanooga player.
The only one I can say is Rapa, but
Yeah. I know
maybe-
there's been
I don't know
some
who you
discussion
take out.
on Bush potentially getting it, but the problem with TJ Bush is,
He's TJ Bush.
well, not even that. Are you really going to try and tell me that TJ Bush should be in, but not Burn Shipman or Austin Pack?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Also, Peter Marlette, I understand you're trying to put on for your team, but going on and complaining about how there's only one Omaha player in the two teams, I need you to please try and tell me who else from Omaha should legitimately be in the second team and ahead of who.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone.
Because Fitch absolutely deserves to be there.
Is a better team. Like they're
Right.
obviously the best team, but there's not really like a star guy on the team. If that makes sense. Like Pedro Della Bella is probably the star on the team, but that team isn't like a collection of like all stars. So
Yeah, it was a well-balanced team.
yeah, which is not a bad thing to have.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again, I don't know who else would have been in, like maybe Akoff would be like the only player I can sit here and be like, yeah, he probably should have been in the second team. Honestly, I'm surprised that Villalobos got it and not Derek Gebhard. If you're going to pick a Madison midfielder, I would have picked Gebhard ahead of Villalobos.
Okay. Why is that?
I think for what Derek Gebhard was contributing, he had 5 assists, like 4 or 5 goals. Like he was second in the league in assists. And he was doing that playing left wing, right wing, left wing back, right wing back. Like he was all over the place. I'm just saying, if you're going to pick a midfielder from Madison, I would have expected Gebhard and not Villalobos.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting on that one.
But
your thoughts on anything? Did you see anything that stuck out to you? Any omissions?
Omissions, I can't really say yes or no. Because like I watched a lot of games this year, but I can't say I particularly paid attention to any stars. Like Doof just threw me off a little bit because there was a lot of star power on that team and nobody really did anything. Other than that, no. Like I am happy to see Garcia getting some love just because he didn't really get that at NCFC. But no, I'm pleasantly surprised that a lot of people agree with both of these lists. Maybe I just haven't seen enough of the discourse to be like yes or no, but not bad, honestly. This was really not a bad like lineup or team picks. Really also wasn't a bad season for anyone not named Lexington and Fuego.
even Fuego had someone worth a damn.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, I think this was probably the hardest one they've ever had to do based on just everyone's seasons and how it shook up into the last week of the season. Sort of. Like we knew who the playoff teams were, but we didn't know where they would be seated, and there was so much up for grabs and seating on the last day or last weekend because you don't do decision day.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. Whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the first team was pretty set. The second team, you could probably rotate players here or there. Besides like Vinyals, Medence, and Fitch, I feel like everyone else was kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. Don't too bad about it. I didn't even know we were getting these this week, so I'm assuming next week we'll probably get award winners.
I feel like we'll get award finalists and then winners after the season.
Which is stupid. You're in season. You're still in season. Just announce them.
I know.
League One, you make me angry sometimes.
Yeah. So.
Oh, can we talk about the expansion of Corpus Christi and Boise?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot about
Touch on that before we're done for the night.
Yeah.
If it's not on the blue turf, I don't want it.
Exactly. I'm low key hyped for Boise, Idaho soccer. I don't know why, but I am.
Because this will be the first pro team in that state.
That's probably.
Yeah. And you never think of Idaho as a soccer place, but it's going to be interesting seeing.
But Maria Sanchez came from there.
That is true. That is true. And I think it was Matt Doyle, who, if you don't follow, who's going to follow, talked about the Basque community in Idaho, which I did not know was a thing. And Boise,
like BASS?
Yeah, like Spain.
Yeah, like Atletico Bilbao.
BASQUE.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yes. And they can have a pipeline of those players coming into Boise and then them going to Atletico Bilbao because they are Basque and they consider that part of, hey, we can get them in here.
Wasn't what's her face? Sofia Huerta, also from Boise?
I think so.
Is she from Boise? I know she's from
I thought she was
up there. I mean, I know Sanchez is. I'm still stuck on Idaho's Basque country. Please. What? Yeah, she is from Boise. Sofia Huerta is from Boise.
All right.
I guess.
Yeah, Idaho's ethnic Basque community is one of the largest in the United States, on the order of nearly 7,000 people in 2000. A large Basque festival is held once every 5 years. The next one is next year. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. So we're taking a trip. We're taking a trip.
Boise, I need you to
also, my
brand.
bad.
You need to launch the brand of this soccer team during that fest. And if you don't, I'm going to be very pissed off, along with not having blue turf. You have 2 requirements now, Boise.
Yeah. Maria's from Nampa, Idaho, which I guess is sure. We're going to call it still in Boise. Because who the fuck is from Boise? Who is from Idaho? Who do you know personally from Idaho? I know one person. One. It's Idaho State. What are we doing?
Yeah, we need that.
You know what? You know what? They're gonna sell out every week. They're gonna sell out every week, and they're gonna have the biggest jersey sales of all time because there's people that went to Boise State and they're like, I need more, and they're gonna sell that team out.
Yeah, Boise has a sister city in the Basque County.
Hey,
you know the thing is, because it feels like Lexington, when we talked about like what's your Lexington color scheme, was like just go with blue and white, like just lead into it.
Just
Boise State, not Boise State. Oh my God! Oh, that would be a dope name for the team. But okay, Boise, just lean into it. Just lean into it.
You gotta.
Like, just lean into the blue and orange. Just lean into the blue.
Either lean into the blue and orange or do a red and white similar to Bilbao. One of those two.
Ooh. You got the blue at the home, the orange as away, and the red and white as the alternate.
There you go.
Just lean into it.
None of the colors make sense together, but it gets the people going. Okay.
Maybe throw in a little green for. Isn't there a green in the Basque flag or something like that?
Yeah.
Isn't there like some green?
Your
come out here with like mustard and brown. Like, don't do that.
We will have to come fight you.
Like you got and look, I understand you want to build your own stadium. That's cool. That's cute. That's fine. I need one game at Boise State. I need one.
And it's a nice stadium. I've been.
I need one. The same thing with Texacoma. Like playing to the Red River rivalry. Have a jersey burnt orange and white and another one crimson and white.
You're just trying to start problems there.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah,
Still not
rep your set in the middle of a game. We'll have a halftime fight.
Yeah, exactly.
You get your anger out there, and then you go back into the supporter section and you just go for it. Okay, that's all.
Like just lean into it. Lean into Naples. Nipples.
And then there's Eugene coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Please, Eugene, lean into the Oregon Duck. Like,
Exactly.
It's okay. Lean into it.
Green and yellow.
Yeah.
You got
Naples.
it.
Naples. Nipples. Lean into the cocaine white jersey.
Why does it have to be cocaine?
Because we didn't get it with Fort Lauderdale, so
Yeah, somebody else.
what about Corpus Christi? What can they do?
Maryland Bobcats, I'm reaching out to you personally. Leave that peasant league behind. Come into League One.
Oh, yeah, we need them too, big time. We need them.
Leave the brokies at home, okay? Leave.
Well,
the
USL will
boys.
treat you better.
Oh my God! We can't treat you worse.
Well,
It's
if you
physically
win, if you
impossible.
win your games, we will let you in the playoff.
Look, here we are. We will actually let your wins count. Okay.
All right.
We are here for you. Leave them alone. Okay.
Hey,
Stop going back to
give
your
me-
toxic ex.
Give me this 3-on-1 derby between Richmond and Maryland.
Mm.
And we only want you, Maryland. Okay, no one else. We don't want any of the other decent teams.
No.
LA Force is like on standby.
Oh, y'all know Michigan Stars is coming.
No.
We don't want them.
Y'all know they coming. LA
No.
Force coming.
LA Force is on standby. We'll see about them. We'll see.
Yeah, LA, because you know we get to Santa Barbara, so they gonna go get LA Force.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If Santa Barbara can't go, LA Force can slot in. Otherwise, I don't want any NISA team that's not named Maryland Bobcats.
Hey, Georgia Force for Tormenta.
No.
Hey, no.
No
Low-key.
brokies.
Low-key. If you could get Savannah Clovers working, them versus Tormenta.
Are they able to financially do it, or are they broke?
They're probably broke. But I'm just talking about.
I don't want no broke boys.
I don't want no broke. Maryland, we'll allow Maryland. Maryland can be slightly broke, but they can come in.
They ain't broke. They just ain't rich. We work well for Richmond.
That's fine. That's good. We can work with that.
Look, if you got $1, I got 50 cents. Okay, like that'll work. We can we here, but I'm not trying to go.
I don't
Absolutely not
want
to
team
Michigan.
joins 1 year, folds next year.
Right.
Like, I don't want
Lexington? We got Lexington. Oh well, man, it's
Lansing.
Lansing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that. I want stable. So
I'm not doing
Maryland can
that.
come in. We have a place for you. LA Force, you're on standby. Everyone else, no.
USL League 2 or die.
You get ready to learn League 2, I guess, or MLS Next Pro.
You ready to learn League 2, my boy?
Just
It's gonna be
Just
interesting.
please, on everything I love, don't do it.
It's gonna be interesting. Well, y'all, this has been fun. This has been fun. Yeah, anything else before we wrap up today's show?
No. I'm following back on Blue Sky because we're here now.
Yeah, because we ain't doing Twitter no more.
Nope.
No.
Also, if you like quick kicks, let us know. We'll try to do One more of those.
So I'm gonna say, we'll maybe have one more.
Now we'll try to do more of them during the season next year, so that we can have a little bit more content, not just every 2 weeks. But yeah, if you're not on Blue Sky, you can follow us on Instagram, Walking90Pod. Make sure to just like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. And I think that is it.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, for all of you from Spokane to Eugene to Naples,
Why is Naples so hard for you right now?
I don't know. I'm just gonna call them FC Nipples at this point. Yeah. For all that being said, enjoy the footy. Watch your favorite game, root for your favorite rival, hate cheer, but just don't do it on Twitter.
Have a successful hate watch. I will.
So yeah, we'll holler at you guys next week. Be easy and be safe.